Hi guys, Hannah here from Nourish to Health. How are you? I wanted to bust a myth for you today. Where do we get our protein from? I hear it all the time. Where am I going to get my protein from? How are my children going to transition to this lifestyle without any protein? And what will we do to build muscles? I'm athletic, I need extra protein. All these things are often a concern for people. So I want to just bust that myth out of the waters today. So we know that we need essential amino acids to basically build our muscles. It's essential for our body. Now what we're told is that we need animal protein that has those essential amino acids in to do that. And that is completely false. Every single plant on this planet that is edible has the essential amino acids within it. Every single plant on this planet has essential amino acids. So we get enough of those essential amino acids through eating a plant-based diet. And I'll go on to explain why. So when you eat, and this is an analogy I heard and I really like this, so hopefully it'll help you understand as well. When you have plant protein, and we know that protein is within all plants, when you have plant protein, it's like eating a brick. And that brick has got everything you need in it. And it's the perfect size brick for the body to digest. If you have animal protein, it's like eating the entire wall. The entire wall. And because that's too much protein for the body to break down, it has to work out how to break down all that mortar around before it can actually utilize the bricks. And it has too many to utilize. So what does it do with the rest? Well, that causes waste within the body and toxemia. And that animal protein is incredibly acidic. So the body then has to work overtime on how to not only break down too much protein, but also break down the acidicness of that protein. And it's just unproductive and it's burdening the system. So not only do all plant-based proteins have everything we need, we actually don't need that many. And there's a lot of vegans out there that have too much protein still. They're having legumes and nuts and seeds every single day and it's just too much. And we now know that too much protein on the body is acidic, it's acid forming, it's toxic for the system, and it just overburdens it. It backs up the lymphatic system. We now know that we don't need as much protein as they originally told us. Who originally told us we needed that much protein? The meat industry. The scientists employed by the meat industry. So, how much protein do we actually need? 10%. 10% of our calorific diet can come from protein. And this is hit without any effort on a raw vegan lifestyle. You're having fruits and vegetables and greens and a few nuts and seeds, and you are smashing your 10% every in each day without any worry. Now the second myth is that we can digest animal protein. We can't. If you look at our closest relatives, we are connected to the primates, and the primates are frugivores. They eat fruit. We are a naturally tropic island based species. I know we don't live like that now, but that's our original chemistry, and we digest fruits, vegetables and greens the best. So if you look at, okay, so we need animal protein to build our muscles and to keep strong, right? How does a cow get their protein? Through the grass. How does an ape get their protein? Through fruit. Do you see the flaw in that? How big are these animals? How muscular are these animals? Now, more and more vegan bodybuilders are coming onto this because they are finding that their bodies are repairing quicker and not so toxic and not so backed up. And they're seeing that they get more energy from removing these toxic animal proteins from their bodies and this high amount of protein. and they're carving it up, which is our natural way of eating. So we know that we firstly don't need that much protein. We know that we get all of those amino acids from plants. And thirdly, let's look at not only how we are similar to these primates, but also look at our actual physical bodies. We do not have teeth to tear into and rip apart an animal. If I was to ask you now to go in your garden and attack your dog and rip apart, you're horrified, aren't you? Because I just asked you to attack your dog, but yet you would sit and eat a steak that someone else has mutilated. So if I asked you to go and sit and rip that animal apart with your teeth, you just physically couldn't do it. You didn't have the teeth available to do that. You couldn't get through the fur, you couldn't get through the skin without tools, without big old knives and a butcher to do it for you. Secondly, not only do we not have the right teeth, we don't have the right intestines either. If you look at meat eaters, primal hunting meat eaters, without bows and arrows and knives and guns, they have big canines, and they also have an intestinal tract that's very different to ours. It kind of goes like this. Ours goes like this. Really long and really wiggly. So that meat that needs to be digested out of the system very fast, it literally comes in and goes through them and comes out the other side. In our system, it putrefies. It gets stuck in the little, the folds of the intestine, and it putrefies, and it creates pus and mucus, and it lines the intestines. That stops the villi from actually absorbing nutrients into the body that needs to. This is the same for milk and any animal products as well. So we just do not have the intestinal tract for it. And what happens is mosquitoes, what happens is that we eat this animal protein, or too much protein generally in the body that also builds up plaque and mucus. We're talking about too much vegan protein too. What happens is it backs up in the intestines, and then any other food that you put on top of it then just putrefies as well, even though that might be a really healthy organic fruit that you're putting in afterwards. Knowing that how long the animal protein takes to actually get out of the intestines as well, which is up to 36 hours or more if you've got an incredibly sluggish, backed up system, this is not good. This is causing acidity to build up in the body. It's causing more plaque and mucus, and it's just not the healthy way to do it. So what have we learned today? We've learned that we don't need animal protein, that we get all the amino acids that we need, essential amino acids, from plants. We've also learned that we haven't got the intestinal tract or the teeth to actually process meat and animal products. And we've actually learned that we only need 10% protein to survive, and that our bodies run off of carbohydrates much more efficiently than they do protein. I hope that's helped you bust this myth out of the water, and that we can put this to bed once and for all, and that you can feel confident when you move your child over to a beautiful plant-based diet, that they are getting everything they need, nutritionally sound. Thanks guys, hope that helps you.